Alright, I am Anthony, this is
Ian.
I don't even know if you could hear that. That's Ian. We're going to the Rockley markets today and we'll see if we'll find anything. What are you looking for?
Stuff.
I'm looking for video games as always. See you in there. Buy some if you want. Pokemon cards.
Yeah, I might. But
separate note, I've already made my first purchase. $3, good enough. Guy talked himself down from 5. Excuse me, gentlemen.
so cheap.
Hey, you're supposed to be cheap at a market.
Never.
I want $50 for this. Yeah, right. Nah, $2.
It's pointing up its rude finger.
Oh, well, look at
It sure is.
What game?
Yeah, Playboy the Mansion. That's decent.
This is a bad game.
Generally held as one of the worst games on the Xbox 360. So that place had like a bunch of figurines and whatnot. They had these cards, 3 for $1. And you got that one for free, you lucky devil. How come you get free stuff?
Because I am lucky.
I never get free stuff ever.
Should I open this?
Yes. Hey, Ninja Turtles. $10.
We got movies. Bambi.
Bamble.
Bambo.
Boggle.
Gumbo. It's a clip of some shit.
You can't have it. Sucker.
Wow. I'm punching you so hard when we leave.
Or as soon as I pay for it. Guy wanted $10 for this, paid 5. Not bad, cool kid. Yeah, nothing good.
Close. Well, don't buy it. Don't buy it.
Good buyer.
How much?
Whole lot. $40.
No, just one. You don't need the whole lot.
Who wants this?
$2? Do $1 on it? I'll do $2. Hey guys, it's Steve with my house bidding you welcome. As you can clearly see, I've gotten a shave and a haircut. Don't know if this is the first video where I've had that, but definitely it'll be the first video where I've shaved the goatee back a little bit just to make it a bit neater. There we go, perfect. We have quite a bit of stuff to show, so I think I'll start with the market, as it is flea market season in Australia. It's spring. And then I'll move on to everything else I found, which isn't too much, but good stuff we found in the market, very good stuff. Definitely stuff worthy of filling up a video with. Stuff for the collection, stuff that I can sell on, and a bit of stories, which is always nice. So, I went to the market with a friend, which you would have seen. Lovely chap by the name of Ian, the slow friend. He's a cool guy. We went together and the place was packed, absolutely packed. Not full of people, but full of vendors. This is probably the first time ever in like the 4 years or so that I've been going to the market that I've actually seen it this full of vendors. So very good for me. A lot of strange vendors in this one. Damn, my foot is itchy. Alright. As soon as I walked in, we turned left because we entered in through the carpool thing, so we just got dropped off, then we got to walk home. We got dropped off, started walking down the aisle because I always try and start at the back, and if you turn left as soon as you enter, you get to the back first, so that's what we did. And while I was walking kind of in between the aisles, there's a back and a front. How do I explain this? There's a bunch of aisles like that, and then there'll be an aisle here and an aisle here in front of all of those aisles and behind all of those aisles. So behind all of those aisles, there was a guy selling some DVDs. He was with some mates, cool guys, bit on the chubby side like myself, but they had DVDs. I was asking how much, and they said $2 each. And I picked up this one and asked, is this $2 as well? And they said, no, it's $5, and it was Simpsons, the complete 4th season. So I opened it up, was kind of just looking at it casually, and I noticed it was missing a disc. Well, it's missing 2 discs now. One of them is in my DVD player, but it was only missing a disc at a time. And I didn't even have to say that I was missing a disc. I was going to try and get it cheaper because of that, but the guy beside me, who wasn't Ian, just some random, said, "Oh, it's missing a disc." And they're like, "Oh, is it? Well, $2 for it, I guess." And I was like, "Yeah, alright." Didn't even have to say anything. They basically talked themselves down. So I paid the guy for it. It was kind of funny. There were 3 people there. One guy who was actually serving and handling money, and then his 2 mates who were just getting pissed in the corner, so cool dudes. When the money guy heard that he was only getting $2 for that, he was like, "Oh, I'll kill you, mate." He was saying that to his friends, and I thought it was really funny, so not bad for the first pickup. Second pickup is, whoa, one I'm not too proud of. Russian, Yugoslavian, Middle Eastern descent guy, or like Eastern Europe kind of thing. Couldn't pinpoint it down. He had a bunch of DVDs, and I was asking how much for one, and he's like, $40 for the lot. And like, I don't want the lot, mate, I only want one. Like, $40 for the lot, very good deal. And $40 is how much a vendor pays to set up, so if he had sold me that, he would have made all his money back. But I didn't want any of the DVDs, I just wanted one game that was in there, and there was only one game in there. And it was SX Superstar, and it's like, $2. Tried to get it for $1, wouldn't do it. And as I was walking away, I checked the disc, and I usually always check the disc while I'm at the vendor's thing, just so I can make sure it's all good in the hood, and it was not. Looks like it was shot up. It literally bends. I've already tried it out, doesn't work, so it's useless to me. Completely useless. If anybody wants the case for this, just message me. But note that the disc is fucked. Guy was handling multiple people at a time, and everyone was haggling that day. Everyone was haggling. Some guy was trying to get some, like, big light bulbs that you would use for, what was it? Like roadworks. It's like to light up an entire road. And the guy was wanting like $6 each for him, and he's like, "No, the bulbs are shot, mate," which, I don't know if that's true or not. Some other guy was trying to buy some calculators, $5 each. You know, he's the kind of guy where if someone asks him something, he'll shout the price at them, so kind of cool, but still kind of mad that he sold me shoddy merchandise. If he's there next time I have a word with him, probably won't. I'll just tack it up to "I'm an idiot." But $2, not kicking myself too hard. And this was all before we even went through a single aisle. And the last thing I found before we started going through the back aisle was, guy had this and a bunch of other stuff. He could have had freaking Super Nintendo games, and I wouldn't have even known because his stall was so messy. He had them all set up in front of him. Him and his wife, I think he might have been of Spanish descent, but his wife was just English, so was an English speaker, an Australian, so I did see they had some games there, and they had 10 cents in a suitcase, which I just kind of, I'll take that. What, it's not like they're selling the 10 cents, but they had this just in a suitcase. I picked it up, asked how much. Guy responded with an offer of $15 after asking for his wife's permission. And I responded with, how about $5? Went to his wife, came back, said, how about we meet in the middle for $10? I'm like, I only really want it for $5. And he's like, yeah, alright. So, I got this. Lips for the Xbox 360. Which is kind of cool. It's a singing game. These sell really well on eBay. $5, not a bad deal at all. I have it listed for $15, see if I can sell it. But when I tried to get a bag for the item, I was gonna get a bag, man. He's like, not for $5. and I do a horrible Spanish accent. I was, "Can I get a bag?" And he said, can't even think of what a Spanish accent sounds like at the moment, but the game inside is actually still brand new in the shrink wrap. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, cool little set for $5. And that whole bag thing, just a joke. He ended up giving me a little bag with holes in it, which, to be fair, I probably deserved. But for $5, not going to complain. Guy also had some, like, loot, some PlayStation 2 games, but the discs weren't in the cases, so it was that kind of store where everything was just thrown into a thing. And then you have to dig for it, which I sometimes don't mind, but when it's possible that I'm going to find something good, I kinda do. And he missed out on 10 cents, so go me. So that might as well have been $4.90 then. Next, the guy I was with was feeling hungry, so we went down to the food aisle and got a big breakfast, which was really good. It's $9.50, comes with 2 sausages, 3 pieces of bread, a bunch of cheese. What am I telling you? You don't care. It was a big breakfast and he couldn't even finish it all. I told him to throw the rest to the birds. He ended up putting it in the bin. Damn you and your unnatuous ways, but we ended up going down the first aisle, which I usually never do because the first aisle is always the same vendors. It's always the main ones are always Asian guys selling knickknacks, like garden gnomes and belts and whatnot. Random sellers selling plants, like leftovers from the Saturday market. Guy and his old mate in a U-Haul who are selling just stuff they found off the side of the road, which I'm not going to explain it, but if you are interested, look up Australia Hard Throwout, I think that's what we call it. But it's where during a certain time of the year you can throw something onto the side of the road, not onto the pavement, but onto like onto your front lawn grass, and then on a day a giant dump truck will come by and just pick up all the stuff, and it just saves you having to take the stuff to the dump yourself. It's pretty good. It's how tip shops get their stock. But there's that guy, and then there's guys selling antiques, which consists of stuff that I wouldn't want to pay prices for. Not the prices he's asking, but in his place there was actually a very nice Asian family. And what I saw first was a dance mat for $10, and they said I could have it for $2, but I've got no need for one of them, so I told them I'm about as good on a dance mat in the arcade as I am at home, and they got a chuckle out of that, so that's good, breaks the ice. And I saw they had some PlayStation 1 games, mostly bootlegs unfortunately, which is very, very unfortunate. They had some really good titles if they weren't bootlegs. They had Resident Evil 3, Silent Hill, one of the Tekken games, just some quality titles, but bootleg titles, so the only 2 that were real there, and the ones I actually wanted to pick up, were Time Crisis, Project Titan, which I will have to look in my collection to see if I own. I do own the original Time Crisis, and I think a few years ago I might have picked them both up in a lot somewhere. It's nice and complete, good to have. And a US release. A US game, Worms World Party. I know it was US because it had NTSC UC there. It didn't have a front insert or anything, which I don't think the US games came with, to be honest. And then that's all in there as well. Disc is in pretty good shape. Not brand new, but like new. If anybody wants that, any of the US friends, get in contact. I'll happily just give it to you. It was only $1. Pay for shipping and it's yours, I guess.